Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is the second of today's Ogham readings, my way of giving back to the community and saying thank you. So this is, oh goodness, for Miss Tinacatlady, who requested a Ogham reading on the channel, and if you wish to put your name into the list, please comment down below and whether or not you want it to be made public. If you don't wish it to be made public, I can post a video, make it private and email you the link. So once again, this is my way of saying thank you, of giving back. So I do 1 or 2 a week for free. If your name doesn't get picked, don't be disheartened. I will keep everybody's name and I will keep picking 1 or 2 a week. Again, this is my sort of learning process as well in terms of utilising the Ogham in terms of divination. I have a very strong connection to them in spirit and energy work and magic work and things of that nature, and I really want to sort of broaden my divination as well as giving something back in appreciation. So, for Miss Tinacatlady, the Ogham that's at the top are tending to be representative of more past influences moving into the present. I choose 7 as always because of the allowance of it to move from past into present into future and give a more overarching energy feel, a sort of tapestry if you will. It's also the number of the teacher and the student, and I think that works really well, seeing as at some point during our life and most points during our life we actually embody both of these roles. We're always learning and people are learning from us as well, and it also helps us to learn from the messages before us. So the first Ogham is Fern or Alder, which is prophecy, divination, scrying, intuition, remaining true to your ethics, music and poetry, as well as spiritual guidance from the other world. It can be that you had a sense of spiritual awakening in the past. It can be perhaps that you have a strong sense of intuition about what current circumstances are about. It may be that you had to stand your ground for your ethics, which in a certain circumstance may have felt as if they were being tested. The second Ogham that follows this is Negatal Read, reversed, which is physical illness and disease, and the need for healing. And Negatal, in my experience, tends to be very much based in the mental, emotional side of healing that is required. It tends to be a sort of emotional imbalance that has come from a situation. It may well be that you felt in a situation that was very, very draining on you emotionally, that you stood up for who you were and you had an inkling or an intuition that a certain situation was going to make you feel unwell, that it was going to have a negative effect on your emotional well-being or mental well-being, but maybe it was unavoidable because the situation still occurred. It's you knew it was coming, but it felt unavoidable in some way. It may have been that you received messages on a psychic level that you didn't fully consider, that warned you of the oncoming situation, but you still felt it was unavoidable, or it may have been an interaction with someone that you felt like giving them the benefit of the doubt, but it actually, you had a feeling about it, but it sort of drained you on your emotional side of things. And I think to sort of round this off, apple reverse, you need to make a choice. You cannot be placating everybody. You cannot split your attention between multiple situations, and that will have a negative effect on your emotional and mental well-being. So it may not even be necessarily people, it may be a certain situation and you feel pushed and pulled in more than one direction, and that's having a bit of a draining effect on your emotional well-being. It may be that coming into the present, you realising that choice and decision and personal barrier needs to be put up and made, and once you commit to a certain path, then that means very much that the other one is then gone, and that to you is a very difficult thing, which is draining you on an emotional level, and it feels like a costly choice. That the choice is really difficult under the circumstances to make, and there's a sense of uncertainty wavering around in there as well because of negatal being reversed. When negatal is the right side up, it's very much a sort of banish out, and it's a solar energy, and it's a broom energy, and it's just sweep it out and sort it out and figure it out and done. But when it's reversed, it's a sense of, I think I need to do this, but I'm not quite sure which direction it needs to be done in, and worrying about the far-reaching consequences and effects of this situation. And it's backed up by the next card, which is you, and you is obviously the death card, the end of something, and it may well be that you are afraid of the fact that once a choice has been made, that it very much will be the end of a certain cycle, the completion of something, as well as the fact that the other situation that you feel like you will have given up on it, or somebody or something that you feel like bad about giving up on a certain situation. However, it feels like it's a very necessary thing that will come to pass one way or another, because it is in your immediate future, and therefore the choice will be made one way or another. And the conflict, the problem is not engaging with the decision that needs to be made for your well-being. It's actually also tied to remembering your inner truth, because the tree of you is one of my favourites, I love it, also represents rebirth. And we get very afraid of letting go of the death of something, the end of things, but we forget about the joys of rebirth, of recognising who we are, remembering who we are, reconnecting with a sense of self and purpose, and choosing a direction for ourselves which is truly within ourselves and true to who we are. The following card is Gort or Ivy, which is following the spirals of life, overcoming, like a tenacity to overcome, transformation in self, career and or education. I get the feeling this might be a little bit more multifaceted than a simple answer, that it may be a choice of life direction, but it also affects people, and it becomes a strain to really make the decision because it affects more people than just yourself, and you feel like you're being selfish by making the decision. But Gore Ivy in the going into the future means you absolutely can overcome. You absolutely can persist. You can overcome these barriers that you perceive as being really difficult. And once that choice is made, once that thing is put behind you and the rebirth begins, that personal growth is just going to ramp right up. It's followed then by Door or Oak, solid foundations. I call it the card of deep roots. It's often rooted in home life, but not always. But it is about deep roots, deep connections, a deep grounding of oneself. So it really does suggest that once this decision is made and the personal transformation is underway and you persist with it, then you're going to be putting down those deep roots which will really stand you solid in terms of your future self. This is who you are going to be. This is who you want to be, and you have to believe in that, and you have to believe in the choice, and you believe in your ability to go for it, and then those roots form and you become stronger. You become lightning proof. Silver fir or elim is clear vision, being grounded in the present, nurturing new projects. A clear view, a new phase, a new beginning. So that just reaffirms everything that we've just said. It's that you will get to the end of this part where there's all this confusion right now and in the immediate past that you're passing through, but there's this huge clear slate in the end, and you'll get to the end of this and be like, this is who I want to be, this is who I am, I feel better for having made the choice, I am free to breathe at last, I am free to pursue who I want to be. This is me, this is my path, and I'm excited that I made this choice. And it will be a much fresher breath of air right at the end. It feels very, very clogged and tired right now, but once that decision is made and pushed through, it will absolutely give you a new perspective on life, a new feeling of freedom, and feeling better. Just feeling much, much lighter at the end of this. Absolutely. So that's it for this reading. I hope it was helpful. Many blessings.